Special Event Alert.
It's actually true. My dog jumped on me and covered me in dog hair, and I had to clean my uniform.
Which is why you are late for Changeover, your weekly space news and variety show. I'm your host, Marty Smith, and I'm joined by our man in the closet, Jake Wall.
Hey, good to see you guys.
And sitting in for our other retiree is our favorite Tasmanian devil. Welcome back, Michelle Zayitz.
Thank you.
Get the internet.
Great to be here, Marty. Great to be here.
We're here to bring you the latest headlines and updates pertinent to all Guardians and to the other lesser branches as well. So take your seats, get informed, and have a laugh because
Late for Changeover is rocking it from the mountain to the space coast.
Loving it. Loving it.
Love that opening, Marty.
I'm going to try
I
it.
love that.
I keep trying to change it, but they keep wanting to charge me for it. The AI sucks, man. All these generation streams and stuff. They're like, they'll give you one for free. And I'm like, hey, I'd like to change it. And they're like, oh, now you got to purchase credits. And
Yeah.
Oh, of course.
it's a scam. So anyway, welcome, Michelle. Thanks. You know, it's been a few months, I think, since
It's
last
been a while.
time
Last time was April, I think. Or
No,
maybe June.
we had you on
last
after
year.
that.
Yeah, June of
Think?
last year.
Maybe not. Maybe not.
Yeah. I think it was June. Yeah. Still great to be
Everything
back.
good?
Thank you.
Everything going good?
With me, retired apart, what could be going wrong?
No.
Life is good.
Amen.
Very good.
Amen.
You'll notice that every year down in the left-hand corner, I do that date stamp. Well, this year I was like, oh, this is Broncos year. I'm doing orange and blue.
Oh.
It wasn't the Broncos year.
No. It was not.
It was
But
not.
we
the Broncos.
got better than I could have ever imagined.
Well, sure. Yeah. It was fun.
15-3 is nothing to shake a stick at. So
No, that's true. That's true.
we'll be back.
Jake, you doing good?
Yeah, man, I can't complain. It's going good.
All right.
Got back from that work trip.
Yeah. How was?
I'm just
Where'd you
chilling.
go? Norfolk this time?
Yeah, we went to Norfolk just to hang
I mean,
out.
I know you've been out there several times. So
Yeah, just chilling, having a good time.
yeah. Did they learn? Did you
So-
teach them? Did you teach them?
Well, not with me teaching them. Nobody's learning anything with me teaching them. I'm a professional slide
surprised about it.
flipper and note taker.
Oh, nice. And then when you're doing it, then you give them like the between the lines stuff, right?
Oh, yeah.
You're like, hey, this thing doesn't really work this way, so let me show you the real stuff.
Some bootleg training.
That guy's great.
What are you
Jake is
teaching?
great.
If I can ask, Jake, what are you teaching?
I teach I'm working for Parsons, but I teach software called ISA, Integrated Solutions for Situational Awareness.
It's
So,
Ah,
yeah, so
Nice.
it's satellite overflight stuff. So,
yeah,
that's
nice.
great.
nice.
yeah.
Good for you.
Yeah, it's
Glad
nice.
One of the three of us is still in the business.
Yeah, not for long.
Well, we
I gotta
did
grow up and become a baker or some shit like that.
not really. You can just retire and go ride your motorcycle, I suppose.
That would be
Your
nice.
motorcycle and fix that finger.
You know, it's interesting. We did that story a few weeks ago about Starlink, about SpaceX trying to put up, 1 million satellites for their data center. But Starlink, now you're starting to see the commercials. Commercials are all over Super Bowl, all over the Olympics about Starlink. But it just brings back to mind when we were talking about that, because he turned Starlink off for Russia.
Yeah.
And it's just like, hey, affordable internet, unless we don't like you, and then we're turning you off. It's like,
We're gonna find out everything you put on the internet, and if it's not the way we think it should be, we're terminating it for you. Yes.
well, we were talking about it. He's essentially brought back M code for GPS, right?
right. Right.
Wasn't it Bush that said, or was it Bush? Bush Senior, right? He said we're never turning it on. I think, right?
Yeah. Him or
One of the
Clinton.
presidents
I
said we're
can't
never going to
remember.
turn it on. Maybe it was Clinton.
Yeah.
It might have been Clinton.
Yeah.
But Elon is.
I think they're pushing those small portable Starlinks into Iran too.
Are they?
Yeah.
Oh well, that's
on
one
that.
way that they've been able to get pictures and images out of all the killing of the protesters. Because they have their own little terminals and they just got to go out somewhere and set it up, and they can make a connection and get internet.
Yeah, because Iran turned its whole country off, right?
Its whole country.
No more internet.
Yeah. Yep. May as well be North Korea.
I mean, I can't imagine what Iran's internet cable company is. They're just like 5 guys, and they're like, now we got nothing to do.
You think they're sending out notices like Xfinity? Like, come on, man, this is day 8. We know it's not a scheduled outage. Come on.
And where's my refund? Damn it!
Back to the labor camps. Back to the labor camps. So, well, anyway, I thought this first story. Let's go to the news. So I came across this first story, which I don't know. I at first I thought, oh, this is a great idea, but then as I read through it, I was like, maybe it's not a great idea. I mean, it is a Governor Newsom backed bill over in California, but I'm curious to see what you guys think. So the first story is from military.com. California passes a law severely limiting veteran claim shark companies, in quotes, claim sharks, right? So I'm sure you guys have heard. I mean, I've had people reach out to me, especially when I was first retired. Now there was a VSO, right, the veteran service officer. Then there was, there was another company, and I can't remember who they are. But it didn't seem like they did much. But they were, it was all free, right? Now, and that was 10 years ago, right? 12 years ago. And now 13 years ago. And now they're all these companies. My brother was like, hey, go see this guy. And I'm like, I don't know if I want to commit to paying these guys, but a lot of people do. So anyway, the story goes, for some veterans, filing a claim with the VA can often be a confusing, frustrating process. To streamline this work, many businesses have popped up in recent years claiming to help veterans, only to take advantage, leaving them with thousands of dollars in expenses and not much help. On just today, California Governor Gavin Newsom signed legislation forcing quote-unquote claim shark companies to either systematically change their philosophies by the end of the year or no longer operate. I don't know how you judge that they systematically have changed their processes. That sounds like a lot of mushy language, but under the law, unaccredited private firms can no longer charge fees to assist veterans in filing claims. Well, how the hell are they going to operate if they can't charge the fees, right? Interestingly enough, based on federal law, charging veterans for that aid was already illegal. But 20 years ago, Congress eliminated criminal penalties for violations, opening the door for private businesses to pursue veterans with offers of fast, efficient service to file claims and maximize benefits. So that's illegal. But they're just not getting penalized for it.
Well,
right.
They just decriminalized it like weed. So
yeah, pretty much. It's like
or meth in Oregon. You're fine.
In the chop. Through the years, some of these companies became known as quote unquote claim sharks, charging 5 times the amount a veteran could obtain through monthly VA disability payments. Last fall, a Vietnam War veteran told Cal Matters he was shocked when he received a bill for $5,500 for claim services, only to receive $1,100 per month from the VA. Certain companies charge more depending on a veteran's disability rating, with some fees exceeding $10,000. So I think what they're doing is they're saying, "Hey, if we get you some extra money, it's almost like a ambulance chaser lawyer, right?
Yeah, if they take so much money, they'll be like, "Hey, we're going to get you an extra 50%, but you owe us 25% of that for the
problem.
year."
They're not telling that. This was, believe it or not, was on NPR a month ago across the country about these companies. They're not telling the veterans what it will be that they will pay They don't give them percentages. Just wait till the settlement is made by the VA, the determination of their VA benefit, and then they send them a bill. Now, if they were front and you signed a piece of paper that said, if I get $1,100 a month in disability, you will then pay this company over time this much money. Be upfront about it. They're not. That's the problem. And that these poor veterans are now, got me hard, but my first 7 months of my payments are going to you.
Well, and they have they had other stories where they weren't saying amounts, but they were saying we get 5 times of your percentage or something for a certain number of payments.
And no veteran knows exactly. I never had a VA claim. You did, Mark, because you were injured on active duty or on AGR duty. I never had a VA claim to even ask about. But if you're in the VA system and you know that you're eligible for something, why isn't the VA the ones helping you get this?
It's a good point.
They're not going to help you with anything.
It's a good point when we're debating, should we have these companies help the veterans or should we not have these companies help the veterans? And the root cause is the VA is just like, yeah, whatever, we'll get around to it. You know, I mean, it was typical, at least in 2013. It's probably the same. Hopefully it's not worse. But I remember everybody was talking about it like, hey, did you get rated? Yeah, 60, 70%, whatever it was. And they're like, oh, you'll get your check in about a year. And sure as shit, it was back paid, but it didn't come for like a year. And you're just like,
right.
Why are they so bad?
Well, and the VA has been a problem since it was created.
Sure.
But what bothers me about this article and these 6 circumstances is that these veterans, for number one, they have a reason for a claim, which means they're disabled in some fashion.
Yeah.
Right. Number 2, they're not being upfront with them about what it is they're going to take back. Now, here's my question for you, though, Marty. If you don't pay them, do you still get your benefit? Or is your benefit
I guess
them being paid?
I wonder if they can.
But if you signed a contract,
yes,
they're going to go after you, right? They're going to take it to court.
They're going to take you to court.
It is kind of ironic, though, isn't it? Because if you're a brand new airman, right, first time you're going to get screwed in military life is probably going to try to buy a car.
No, given.
And if you make it all the way till retirement, and the last time you're going to get screwed is by the VA.
Yes, exactly. Yes. Yeah.
So your whole life is bookended by both of those who neither one of them are up front. Neither one, or they're kind of shady and they're fast talking. And you're like, I guess it's for my benefit. And you're like, hey, how'd I get a 25% car loan? So
oh my God. Back in the day, your first sergeant had to sign the paperwork before you could buy a car.
Oh man.
Well, sure.
First sergeant, if he saw it more than 6%, nope. No signature, you couldn't buy the car.
Yeah, but that's not counting the guys who are like, look at this bonus money. Fuck, I'm going, baby.
Oh, yeah.
I'm going on my own.
Yeah. Well, I mean, and I commend Newsom for wanting to change things to the benefit, but part of the article was that some vets may be hurt by this law. We're concerned that it may hurt some veterans. We just fix the fucking vet.
Well, that's the problem. Is that I mean, you submit a claim to the VA. I think I did it through a VSO, and I can't remember. I wish I could remember the name of that company. The guy worked. It wasn't. I guess it was a company, or it was like a veterans group or whatever. But he put it in. It took a year, right? So he can't speed it up. He has no insight into the process. He can't see where it's at. So. And VSO didn't, that was his job. It was to do that. But I know there's some good VSOs and bad VSOs. All the VSOs will tell you that, right? So if you submit a claim and you just have to wait and there's no movement on it, maybe it benefits you to have a company to go do that for it. And maybe you just pay them that 6 months worth of whatever you got to pay them for the rest of your life to have your benefit. Maybe. And that's where some of the debate comes in, because there are some that say these companies are useful, And veterans are, all you got to do is just read, you got to get advice on it, read the paperwork. And if, be able to make a decision, but to push these guys out completely, I don't know. It seems kind of, limiting a choice.
But you did say when you read the sentence, there was one word in there that could change the whole paradigm, and that's accredited. Newsom's law is if they're not accredited. Okay, get accredited.
How do you get accredited?
You have to pass a certain test within the state laws to make sure you're not a shyster.
Yeah, okay.
Accredited means that you, like an LLC. Okay, you want to be this kind of VA claim person or company to help veterans, get accredited, because I think that's what the law specifically stated, non-accredited.
Yeah.
Right. Okay, because they're on every corner.
All right. Well, yeah, that's shysters. Okay, that's
so
fine.
Get accredited, and then you're not violating Newsom's law.
Yeah, and so it's really kind of fairly minimal impact. Really, it's just kind of getting rid of really bad actors.
Right.
But these companies are still, that are accredited are still going to that's 5 times your bonus pay, right?
Yeah.
I mean, they had one story I read where a guy got 10% for tinnitus. And so they told, and he was getting $100 and they were like, hey, that's $800 or $600 you owe us. And then his rating went up to 40%. And then the company said, hey, we're taking 10% of that too. We're taking 5 times of that too. And he's like, what? He had to go to court to get that to drop. Yeah. But I mean, what kind of veteran at 60 wants to go to court and spend a hell of a lot more money than whatever you're going to pay these guys? So
right.
I don't know. But the bill narrowly passed, and part of that was because there was so much money against it. California's bill was heavily supported by veteran service organizations like the American Legion Veterans of Foreign Wars. However, filing a claim or receiving benefits can take months or even years, leaving veterans angry and perplexed. The bill narrowly passed California legislature and was one of the most heavily debated bills. Legislators haggled over the bill for more than 4.5 hours during public hearings and brought in testimony from nearly 100 speakers, a pair of claims consulting businesses, Veterans Benefit Guide, and Veterans Guardian pushed hard against the bill, spending more than $500,000 on lobbyists. So fight.
Oh, man.
Yeah, but all that money came from veterans.
Yep.
Yeah, probably.
The $500,000 was raised
that
from
$500,000 was from 10% of tinnitus.
Right. That's right.
Yeah. So I don't know. You're right, Michelle. The unaccredited people, get them out of there. Okay, if this bill does that, great.
Yeah.
But that doesn't mean that even if you're accredited, that you're above board.
Oh, agreed, 100%. Oh God, every lawyer in the country.
Plus, that system is so goddamn complicated anyway.
Yep.
Yeah. I mean, I didn't understand it, and I had the guy talking me through it. I was like, whatever, dude, just submit it and let's see what happens, right? And appeals and all that stuff.
Did you start submitting it before you retired? Can't you submit for a VA claim before you retire?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think you can.
Yeah.
If you're smart enough to do that. I wasn't smart enough to do that. I didn't know that. Okay.
You have a what's the word I'm looking for? Eligible injury or illness.
Yep.
If you know it,
sure. I mean, you can't. I think you can't actually submit the claim until the day after you're retired.
So they changed it, Marty. So in TAPS, they highly encouraged. They didn't make us, but they highly encouraged us all to make an appointment with the DAV.
DAV, that's it.
Yeah.
Those are the guys.
With the
DAV.
With the DAV, and the DAV has like multiple offices. They had one down on Fort Carson.
Yeah.
And you can go in and have an in-person meeting, and you can hand them over or give them a digital copy of your records. And during my meeting, they said, okay, what are you concerned about? And I literally handed them 5 things. I'm like, hey, these are the 5 things I think might be an issue. Let me know. And the guy goes, okay, cool. These are the 5. We definitely see these. And he gave me a 1.5 pages of stuff that was like, these have the potential to be issues. And I'm like, okay. And you could get everything done and the package was ready to be submitted by them to the VA.
Oh, wow.
Except for your DD 214. So as soon as you got your 214, you emailed that to the DAV rep. He threw that in the package and shipped it to the VA.
That's
cool. That was it. Yeah. They hooked me up. That's
probably the same process for anybody that's retired in the last 25, 30 years. But our veterans from Vietnam who didn't retire, but they have injuries, right? They're eligible for VA but they didn't retire. I'd say probably since the late 70s, none of that, or people that are retired around the late 70s, early 80s don't have that opportunity. But you did, Jake, because you retired in the last 20 years.
And Marty retired in the late 70s. You retired in the late 70s. So I can understand why it'd be an update.
He's saying it to you, Marty, not me. Yay.
No, he did say it to you, Michelle. He said it to you.
He did? Oh, I didn't hear that.
What I see now, I see the guys advertising on like Facebook, Instagram, and they're like, these guys said I couldn't get anything from my military service. Now I'm getting 100%. And you're like, you go from nothing to 100%.
Exactly.
Right. So I talked to the VSO when I was transferring the VA out here to Florida, right? I had to go down there and talk. VSO was there. He's like, hey, come on in. And just so you know, I mean, I'm at 70%. And he goes, you're pretty much not going to get any more of that from your physical stuff. I said, well, my back. And he goes, yeah, your back is listed. I go, your back. But it really hurts. So he goes, maybe you can, but it's really difficult to do it. And he said, are you short-tempered? Do you have, those kind of things? You start going down that list. He gave me a little list, and it's like, oh man. I go, I guess I do feel sometimes this way. And he goes, yeah, that's where people are getting more percentages out of the VA. And I was like, And so I sat there and thought about it for a couple of weeks, and I called him back and I go, so how would that work? Right? And he goes, well, you got to go to a doctor for it, and you got to get all the records and all this. I said, oh, I got to go get mentally evaluated?
Yeah.
He goes, yeah. And I was like, oh, that's not good. You can't do that.
You knew you would pass? Because you knew you would pass?
I said, I'm still trying to get a clearance job. I don't think that's great here. So, but yeah, I blatantly see those organizations out there like, come talk to us. We'll get you the percentage you deserve. That kind of thing.
Yep.
Wow.
Yeah, there is blatant, like those shady lawyer billboards.
Yeah. Yeah, it really is. It's
somebody in our area that rhymes with Schmank Schmazar.
I see his name on every bus everywhere.
Yeah. Yeah.
Another one, Shanker. He's another one.
Oh yeah, good call.
But so I don't know. I thought it was interesting. Give us a chance to talk about it.
It is, but what's really disturbing about the whole thing is that any of our veterans legitimately eligible for VA entitlements should not have to put up with this shit, and it's wrong.
Well,
the laws and the process needs to be fixed. And I feel bad. Like I said, I heard the stories. One guy was out $32,000.
Yeah.
Because he was rated at 100%.
Right.
And he retired. I don't know if they base it on your rank. Do they base it on your rank or what?
I don't know. I don't really know.
VA benefits aren't on your rank.
No. Yeah.
Oh, it's based on the injury itself and the percentage.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Well, anyway,
now,
this guy,
the
after
amount,
he got...
Well, I don't know. The amount?
After he got
it's all percentage. We're all ranked the same.
Oh, okay.
Well, once he got approved by the VA for his benefits, he owed this company $32,000, and he was going to pay them for the first 2.5 years of his benefits.
Wow.
Let's fix it. That's the problem. These companies wouldn't exist if it was happening, if it was working correctly.
Yeah.
Well, sure. You compound that problem with. We talked about that a month ago where somebody wrote an opinion piece and was talking to military members who were in, and they're like, go to sick call. Go to Citgo. Get this stuff documented.
Get everything. And another, we actually had a VA when I was getting ready to retire. Actually, no, we were refinancing our home. This was 15, 16 years ago. And the guy that came to the house to sign the paperwork, because you don't have to go to the bank anymore, he saw that we were both retirees, my husband and I. And he said, have you opened up a VA claim yet? And I said, well, I don't have any medical issues to warrant. He said, I don't care. Go down to the VA and open a case number. And as long as the case number is established in 20 years, if something that's happened to you when you were on active duty or even in the reserves comes back, you've got a case number. Just get it done. I couldn't believe he was there for our mortgage and he's telling us to go open a case number at the VA.
Yeah, it's a weird environment out there. You get a little bit torn on it. You're like, do they ethically do this or should they not?
Yes, Marty, that's the answer. Yes, you can. They will shaft you any way possible. I know for a fact I broken bones in the military while I was in the military.
Yeah.
And they were like, this isn't service connected. And I know for a fact that they came out to our flight line and were like, oh, you guys should have been wearing 2 ear protection this whole time. And we're like, yeah, we were only wearing those 3M foamies. And they're like,
oh, man, really?
And guess what? Hearing loss, yes, not service connected.
Yeah, that's
like,
whoa.
Yeah.
You literally know for a fact that this is happening.
Yes.
Nope. Not service connected.
Wow.
So you shaft them as much as they shaft every single one of us.
Yes. All right.
Well, you know, that I want my money to go to you, Jake.
Yeah,
that's what.
Yeah, me too.
Appreciate it.
Me too.
You're welcome.
You can't have my Social Security, but you can take anything else for VA. Yeah.
What, your poorly invested government freaking subsidies there?
That's for another episode. We're not talking about
that. I just got my first check 2 weeks ago, and I am kicking ass.
All right, kicking ass.
Yeah. Kicking ass.
Let's talk about honeypots.
Oh yeah, I've gotten so much training on this, and I have yet to get potted.
I know. I kind of want to, right?
I keep trying to get honey potted. So like, no.
Task and Purpose covered this story, and it came out on Valentine's Day. But the Army put out who was it? The cyber guys. They put out a meme that said, "Are you a spy?" And the Army warns against falling for a honeypot. So they put a kind of a public service tweet out there on X. It said, "Roses are red, and you're a nice guy. That baddie who likes you is probably a spy."
Just destroying confidence across the whole branch.
Yeah, right. The Army wants soldiers not to fall for anyone who starts flirting with them on Valentine's Day and beyond. The U.S. Army Counterintelligence Command is warning soldiers to be wary of potential honeypots. In a post shared to its social media accounts, the Fort Meade Base Center is asking soldiers to be on the lookout if anyone seemingly out of their league starts talking to them, right? And that's
anybody
the last
in the place. Sorry.
Yeah, that's the last time anybody's going to admit to that. So that's what they put out there, the Army Counterintelligence Command. It says, doesn't take a mathematician to figure out 10 plus 5 equals honey trap. It says, report suspicious behavior. Are you a spy because you're way too cute to be talking to me? Yeah, and you tell me the soldier, airman, marine, seaman who's going to admit that you shouldn't be talking to me. You're probably a spy. Right. They'll be like, spy away, baby.
Dude.
Come on home with me.
Yep.
But you know, all of us, I think, including Jake, have all held SCI at one point. And you get this annually. You get a briefing annually. Don't let anybody or report it. If you're in a cafe or a bar or a coffee shop and somebody approaches you and says, "Hey, I know you work on such and such program. Can you tell me something about it?" You're required because you hold that clearance to go report that.
But that's not honeypotting, Michelle. That's not honeypotting. This is
okay. Aren't they trying to get information from you by hooking up with you?
Yeah, that's what honeypotting is. That's like,
I get that.
Let's get a drink. I don't give a shit what you do in the army. Let's go get a drink. And you're like, fuck yeah, let's go get a drink. Because on date 5, that's when they start going, hey, so what do you do again?
Yeah.
So what I'm hearing, Marty, is one night stands acceptable. Long term, naughty.
Probably not. Yeah, probably not. Now, if you can refuse after the one night stand, all right, you've defeated the honeypot.
Yeah, nice.
Not many men will, though.
Yep. Nope.
Now,
Again,
is this
all
only
right,
pointed towards male? Was it also pointed towards female?
I don't know. You tell me. Have you ever had seen a really handsome guy talk to maybe not so pretty an airman?
Are you asking me that?
Yeah, I'm asking you that.
No. That doesn't apply because we all know a Desert 5 jumps to a 7 or an 8 immediately.
Well, true. Yeah, right.
But I'm saying
a guy can recognize that if somebody we know and you're like, whoa, look at this hot chick why is he going out with her? That doesn't make any sense. So guys are very adept at that. Are women have the same radar? Would you tell a fellow airman back in your day that, hey, that guy's way too good looking for you? Would you tell a female airman that?
Back in my day, that female airman probably wasn't in a job that would be of risk of the national security.
No. I'm just saying in general. Don't do the logic piece of it.
When
would
we
you come up and go?
How dare you be sexist about
would you come up and go, hey, airman?
I was working with them.
That guy's way too good. What are you doing with him?
But I have to admit, when we had a nice group of folks when I was stationed with the trucks in Greeley, and we would go out to Grizzly Rose. We'd go out going dancing, two-stepping. Most of us were married, and our spouses were cool with that. We'd just go out. And I don't ever remember anybody coming up to any of the women that I was with that may have wanted to know about their mission out at the site. Or we were only with people we knew. We only went out to these places with guys that we knew, trusted. Right. So I can't answer that question with a yes. I saw that.
You had a lot of military before you got to the trucks. Would you ever go tell a friend of yours that guy's too good looking for you? You got to watch out.
Oh no! I would say I'd find out what he does and where he lives.
Or if he had a sweet ass accent, you'd be like, "Oh hell yeah, girl, get it."
But
you're lucky. Grab onto him with white knuckles and never let go.
When I was a single airman
Third
E2
base,
through E5, out at Buckley,
one.
working a highly classified mission, we were told not to go out to bars because our first sergeant could control that kind of behavior. That was 45 years ago. So you're asking an old lady a question that wouldn't have applied because we weren't allowed to go out to local establishments because of our clearance.
Our first sergeant told us that would make me want to go 10 times more.
I know.
Nettles was walking around handing out condoms in a Kleenex box. That's our first sergeant. He'd be like, "Have a good weekend." Showing up with a Kleenex box. You're like, "What's in there?" "Oh, trick or treat."
Don't add to the surplus population.
Yeah. Don't
Secrets is fine. Don't knock somebody.
Take it away and don't be on the news and don't be in jail.
I think the Army is actually not paying attention to statistics because the likelihood of getting honeypotted is probably pretty low, but the likelihood of getting depended and having your whole life washed down the drain is probably higher.
Yeah.
So maybe they should target this towards dependas. And not towards.
Well, that was the counterintelligence command. So they've got a whole different focus, right?
Yeah, the first sergeant's probably worried about the dependas then.
But yes, I mean, over in Germany, and you guys have both been stationed overseas, the first thing that they told all of the single men in Berlin when we were stationed there, don't expect to meet up with some honeypot, marry her, have a kid, and get her back to the States. Because as soon as she gets you back there, she's going to divorce your ass.
Nice.
Right.
It was, and it was true. It was true, and the same probably happens in the Asian.
They got their family over, and it was all good.
That they probably should be giving briefings to both young single men and women in
Marty,
any theater.
what does AFES stand for?
What? What? Tell me, Jake. What?
AFES is an acronym. You didn't know?
I know. Army Air Force Exchange Services.
No. Asian American Family Employment Service.
I can't. I'm okay.
Who are 90% of employees?
Yeah.
100%. Agreed. Agreed. But at least they're still with the spouses.
Oh,
right?
100%.
Well,
yeah,
sure.
That is cool. Yeah,
sure.
Because they're
That's true. They wouldn't, if they weren't with the spouses, they couldn't get access to the base to go to work.
Thanks.
So.
Nagging him into an early grave. But
that's so funny. Okay.
The article goes on. It says honey traps are actually a major concern for the Army and the U.S. military as a whole. The military deals with constant threats from foreign intelligence and espionage in a variety of ways, from surveillance to misinformation, and set up new units to try and deal with those and worked on security at bases. But honey traps and related romantically themed schemes with active duty service members remain a consistent tool used by adversaries. Honey traps have also targeted veterans and military contractors. Last year, a retired Army lieutenant colonel who was working as a contractor for U.S. Stratcom pleaded guilty to conspiring to transmit classified information to a quote-unquote woman he had met on a dating site. The supposed paramour asked Beloved Dave, is what she called him, Beloved Dave, the ex-colonel, for information about U.S. intelligence on the Ukraine-Russia war. So this is a retired lieutenant colonel who's like, yeah, I don't care if I'm getting honey trapped. This is great.
Falling for the haughty Russians.
That's right.
Attaboy.
Yeah, they got it. Slavs. This past week, the Department of Justice unsealed indictments of 11 people involved in a plot to commit marriage fraud. According to the indictments, the people planned sham marriages with U.S. service members to get green cards and then military identification cards to gain access to bases. Plans also called for bribing service members for their role. 4 former Navy sailors pleaded guilty on charges stemming from the scheme, and they are waiting to be sentenced, the Department of Justice said.
Wow.
So
Nice.
there's an old OPSEC in the comments. People were putting this old OPSEC phrase up. If she's hot and you're not, think OPSEC.
Nice. Perfect.
but no guy admits they're not hot.
Does all the spies have to be hot? Why
it
can't there be
helps.
ugly spies?
Nah,
Are you going to fall for it too?
That doesn't.
No.
Yeah.
I never have before. So.
See?
Yeah. And if the guys are at the bar that late for the and they send in like the Spies squad of spies, and they're like, he was about to tell me something, then he threw up all over my car. So it doesn't produce the results that the A-team does. So So beware of honeypots, guys. Beware of the honeypots. So, all right, we got some sad news. Okay. Yeah, it was kind of a bummer. I saw this the other day. There's a lot of articles out there today, but yesterday I pulled this off of wearethemighty.com. Legendary actor and Army veteran and Navy brat Robert Duvall died at 95. Damn, a lot of these guys. Remember, we were hitting. People were dying in their 70s. Now a lot of them are dying in their 90s. So that's.
But when I first read it out loud to the hubby, he said, "I thought he died 10 years ago." Really? That's when I used. But when I heard 95, I was like, "Whoa!" He's been out of the spotlight for a while. So
Sure.
He hasn't been really doing much. Yeah.
Well, he did something in 2014. I saw that one.
2014.
Whoa. What's that?
That's my dog. It's my husky. She's sitting here whining because I'm not giving her the attention she feels she deserves. So I've got to call my husband out here to get her out of here.
It's a lot of work here. So.
Sure.
Robert Duvall, the Oscar-winning actor whose own service and military upbringing informed a lifetime of tough, believable performances, died Sunday evening, February 15th, at his home in Middleburg, Virginia. He was 95 years old. Hey, did you hear who he married? You know, his wife is
Venezuelan,
40,
wasn't she?
She's 40 years younger than him.
Was she a Venezuelan?
I don't know.
Think.
But
she's
40
maybe.
years younger. I was like, I think 42, actually. Long before Hollywood knew him as Tom Hagen or Lieutenant Colonel Kilgore, Duvall was a military brat raised in a Navy household shaped by duty, postings, and expectations. His father, Rear Admiral William Howard Duvall, wanted his son to follow him into uniform by attending the Naval Academy. Duvall went another way, and we're all better off for it. But he didn't avoid service. In 1953, just after the Korean War ended, he was drafted into the U.S. Army, where he served for 2 years at Camp Gordon, which is now Fort Gordon. He left the service with an honorable discharge as a private first class. That enlistment set him up for what came next. After leaving the Army, Duvall used the GI Bill to study at the Neighborhood Playhouse School of the Theater, where his classmates included Dustin Hoffman, James Caan, and fellow veteran Gene Hackman.
Yeah.
Can you imagine sitting with those guys and they're like, I'm doing this for free. And they're like,
he was
whatever.
roommates with Hoffman. Hoffman was his roommate.
Right.
Yeah.
On screen, Duvall returned to the military again and again in notable roles like Major Frank Burns in MASH, the movie, Lieutenant Colonel Wilbur Bull Meacham in The Great Santini. I remember that movie. And most famously, the cavalry hat-wearing Colonel Kilgore in Apocalypse Now. He was sometimes satirizing the military, sometimes honoring it, but never giving a subpar performance. Off-screen, Duvall sometimes visited VA hospitals to thank injured vets for their service, a quiet habit that fit his reputation for keeping things personal and direct. He was also in The Godfather, Colors. I had completely forgot that he was in Colors.
Oh,
right?
Yeah.
He was that cop. Days of Thunder. I loved him in Days of Thunder.
Yeah.
And Open Range. He loved playing cowboys. You know, he was a cowboy a lot.
In The Lonesome Dove, the miniseries there.
Oh, Lonesome Dove.
He won a
right.
Golden Globe for that.
Right,
he got a Golden Globe for that. And nominated 7 times for Oscars, but only won once, and that was for Tender Mercies, where he sang his own songs.
Yeah, that was a show
not
before
dubbed.
me.
He sang his It was pretty cool. He was really.
I liked.
It wasn't a movie that he was ever in. I didn't enjoy. He was
no. He had a certain way of delivering his lines that was really cool. I think so.
He would get into his characters. He would dive. He would seclude himself away from the other cast to really get into the feeling of the character. They all thought he was just being rude and subbing them.
Oh yeah,
getting into the mindset of the character, especially the lawyer in Godfather, the Consigliere or whatever it was called.
Consigliere, come on.
Consigliere, thank you. Sorry.
Come on.
Yeah. No, he was good. But the smell of napalm in the morning is all I've been hearing on news for the last day and a half. You know smell of victory.
That quote gets so screwed up because it's so outrageous, but the story he tells behind it is pretty cool. So, do you know Robert Duvall, Jake?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
We thought maybe he was a different generation than
he was, but yeah.
Okay.
I was looking at Jesse Jackson too. He died.
Yeah, he died today. Yeah. He's another one. Yeah.
Non-military though, so we don't care.
Oh, that's not true.
So, I don't think we cut. I don't. In when we used to do those quizzes, I don't think Robert Duvall ever came up as one of the military. No. So it was
especially his role in Apocalypse Now. I'm really surprised it didn't come up. Yeah.
Well, no, we did a quiz about people who were in the military before they went to Hollywood.
Oh, got it.
We never had Robert Duvall, so we had Mr. T, but we didn't have Robert Duvall. Yeah.
There you go.
So anyway, thanks for all the years that you entertained us there, sir.
Yeah, definitely.
All right.
Hell yeah.
So I don't know if Jake did any research, but I know Michelle did. So
I did a little research. I have an individual this time again.
Oh, wait, hold on. Let me introduce it.
Right,
it's now time for Unheralded History.
Oh, I love it.
You like those buttons, huh? That's pretty cool. Huh?
Yeah.
Excited?
I love it.
They're not that responsive.
I love
I
it.
humor you.
Okay, how we usually do this, I don't have one, right? So yeah, I know. Is we usually
Eric,
go...
please take note of this.
Well, Eric's not even here. He didn't have one last week. So
he'll listen. He'll know.
Really slacking.
Yeah.
How we do this, Michelle, is usually we go by the date. So
yes,
the earliest one goes first.
Mine is 1861.
Oh shit!
Yeah, dude.
You win.
And don't think it didn't go unnoticed that I know how you do this, so I made sure.
I know.
You wanted to go first.
You've watched more of these episodes than my co-hosts have.
I gotta tell you, when the hubby and I get back from Meals on Wheels on Wednesday mornings, I set up my TV and I watch my Eagle Nest cams. And what am I doing? I'm watching Late For Changeover.
Oh, right.
First thing I do.
Nice.
I swear to God.
Wow.
Yes.
Well, there you go.
Yes.
All right,
so
you got me. I got 1906.
Whoa.
Not too far.
You're way back when, too. All right.
Not too far.
I'm going to sit back and let you guys run the show.
So
you are up.
Yeah. Okay, I sent Marty a picture, and Marty, I'll cue you when it's time to put the pictures
Slide
up.
one, Marty.
All right. I know which.
Okay, so I wrote this out on a Word doc. Well, I typed it out in a Word doc. I'm just going to read it. So I'm trying to make the screen where I can see both of you and your reaction as I read. Okay?
Oh, that's impossible. Yeah.
Don't go off.
Just got to go off our sound.
Screen over here. Yeah. Okay.
I've been doing that for 4 years, and I have no idea what faces they make until I watch it afterwards.
And it's kind of cool that we were just talking about. What was the subject there? The honeypots?
Yeah.
Spies.
Is this about a honeypot?
Keep the spies. Keep that in mind. Okay. So, the man known as Franklin Flint Thompson to his fellow Civil War soldiers was really a woman. Sarah Emma Edmonds, one of the few females recognized to have served in the Civil War. Edmonds was born in Canada on a farm with 3 sisters and a brother with epilepsy. Her father was discontented and abusive with the girls and wanted boys to help with the overwhelming farm work. To gain acceptance, Sarah dressed in boys' clothing to help around the farm. In 1856, desperate to escape the abusive father and a pending forced marriage, she moved to Flint, Michigan, where she discovered that life was easier when she dressed as a man.
Oh.
She earned a living as a Bible salesman. On May 25th, 1861, continuing in the disguise and compelled to join the military out of sense of duty, she enlisted in the 2nd Michigan Infantry as a male field nurse to assist the chaplain and his wife for a 3-year commitment under the alias Franklin Thompson. Although she and her comrades did not participate in the Battle of First Manassas in 1861, they were instrumental in covering the Union retreat from the field. She stayed behind to nurse wounded soldiers and barely eluded capture to return to her regiment in Washington. Okay. In March of 1862, she was assigned the duties of mail carrier for the regiment. Later that month, the 2nd Michigan was shipped out to Virginia as part of General McClellan's Peninsula Campaign. And from April to May of that year, they took part in the siege of Yorktown. The death of a childhood friend during the Peninsula Campaign convinced her to volunteer for duty as a spy.
Oh, yeah.
According to her memoirs, published in 1865, Union General George McClellan personally interviewed her for the job. She was tested on the knowledge of firearms and given a phrenological examination, which is the detailed study of the shape and the size of your cranium as a supposed indication of character and mental abilities.
At this point, was McClellan like, okay, you're a woman, right? He's still thinking she's a man?
She is a man. As far as everybody around her is concerned, she's a man.
Wow.
After the examination, she was sworn into the Secret Service. Ironically, in the Secret Service duty, she penetrated Confederate lines disguised as a woman. She is also said to have infiltrated the Confederate
dude could pass as a broad, guys.
Wait. Sorry.
She's also said to have.
Wait. She penetrated enemy lines disguised as a woman. So just being herself.
Just being.
Sometimes,
right?
Sometimes, okay.
Don't be
She's also said to have infiltrated the Confederate Army several times, although there is no official record of it.
Oh, no.
One of her alleged aliases was
best disguised titties ever.
Look at those things.
One of her alleged aliases was a Southern sympathizer named Charles Mayberry. Another was a black man named Cuff, for which she disguised herself using wigs and silver nitrate to dye her skin.
Oh, gee,
and yet another was,
she did blackface.
Went blackface. She did blackface. And
man
yet another
face?
was
blackface.
Bridget O'Shea, an Irish peddler selling soap and apples.
Irish black man face.
On May 5th, 1862, the regiment came under heavy fire during the Battle of Williamsburg. Edmonds was caught in the thick of it, at one point picking up a musket and firing with her comrades. She also acted as a stretcher bearer, ferrying the wounded from the field hour after hour in the pouring rain. The summer of 1862 saw Edmonds continuing her role as a mail carrier, which often involved journeys of over 100 miles through territory inhabited by dangerous bushwhackers. Edmonds' regiment saw action in the battles of Fair Oaks and Malvern Hill, where she acted once again as a hospital attendant, tending to many wounded with the conclusion of the Peninsula Campaign in July of 1862, she returned with her regiment to Washington. On August 29th, 1862, the 2nd Michigan took part in the Battle of Second Manassas, Bull Run.
That was ugly.
Acting as a courier during the battle, Edmonds was forced to ride a mule after her horse was killed. She was thrown into a ditch, breaking her leg and suffering internal injuries. These injuries would plague her for the rest of her life and were the main reason for her pension application after the war.
Oh.
Shortly after her regiment moved into Kentucky in 1863, she contracted malaria, which forced her to give up her military career because she knew if she would be discovered if she went to a military hospital, and her being listed as a deserter upon leaving made it impossible for her to return after she recovered. Following her recovery, Edmonds, no longer in a disguise, now working as a nurse as a woman in the United States Christian Commission from June of 1863 until the end of the war. In 1865, she wrote a book, a very highly successful account of her experiences in the Army called Nurse and Spy in the Union Army. The popularity and exposure she gained from the book and its revelation that she had deserted the Army at one time led the government to cancel her pension.
Oh,
she married,
nice.
Yeah, she married a neighborhood friend named Linus Seeley in 1867, and they went on to have 3 children. In 1876, she attended a reunion of the 2nd Michigan and was warmly received by her comrades, who aided her in having the charge of desertion removed from her military record and supported her application to reinstate her military pension.
That's cool.
After an 8-year battle and an act of Congress, Franklin Thompson was cleared of desertion charges and awarded a pension of $12 a month. The congressional bill also recognized her service to the Union as a combat soldier. In the early 1890s, her family moved to LaPorte, Texas, and when she died in April of 1897, she became a member of the McClellan Post, Grand Army of the Republic in Houston, Texas. To this day, she's the only woman in the history of the GAR with full membership, though as many as 400 women actually served in the Union Army. 3 years after she died, at the insistence of her fellow members of the McClellan Post, her remains were transferred to the GAR plot in the Washington Cemetery in Houston, where she was interred with full military honors.
That's awesome.
Freaking cool, huh?
That's wild. Yeah. But, she went back to that reunion.
Yeah, and she came out, essentially. She came out. She went back as a woman, yeah.
There's got to be a bunch of those guys like, what?
Yeah.
What?
I knew that dude had cute cheekbones. I knew it.
That was a honeypot.
Honeypotted.
I know it was a while ago, but
yeah. Isn't that something?
That is cool.
Something? It really was cool. And the fact that I picked it before I read your two stories, Marty. And when you were talking Spy, I was like, oh man, this goes right into it, man. This is great.
Honeypots and the VA. You combine two stories into it.
Yes, it's true. That's right. Wow, she got a pension.
Yeah. I wonder if
$12 a month.
An accredited company that helped her.
Yes, she didn't have to file any additional paperwork, but no, great story.
So say her name again.
Oh man, I just had it.
What was her name?
Hold on one second. I'm gonna scroll up to the top, and I'm gonna read her name. Was Sarah E. Edmonds, Edmonds.
Yeah.
But she portrayed Private Franklin Flint Thompson.
Yeah.
Wow, that's cool. That's a crazy thought up name. Man.
And it's my favorite because it's about a woman, and Civil War is my favorite. And that's me and the hubby's favorite. We love the history of the Civil War. So that was very appropriate. Yeah.
Well,
I think after a certain age, you have to just choose a war and go with it. And just be like, you know what? I can't be bothered with one or two or Korea. F that.
No, that's true. You got to focus. Yeah, you got to
focus.
That's true.
You can't be focusing on all of
it. Well, he's Napoleon. I'm Civil War.
Oh,
so.
yeah.
I mean, I get messages all the time out here on Facebook, like people dying to join the Korea group, and everybody's like, come on,
Korea.
Couple years.
It's forgotten for a reason. Come on, guys.
Oh my God.
Meanwhile, we've done multiple articles on Korea. And had hour-long discussions.
I know. That's true. That's true.
So,
wow, very good.
Thank you for letting me just read it.
Oh, we didn't. Wait. We never even.
Compelling.
Slide one, Marty.
The picture. Oh, Marty, please show the pictures. I'm so sorry.
Okay, that's the first one.
Dude, that dude looks hot.
And the next one is even. That's
her.
The haircut, right? And the high cheekbones, but that looks like a man to me.
Yeah, sure does. Yeah.
And that's how she lived her life for 4 years, from the 1861 time, even earlier, because she was working as a Bible salesman.
Yeah,
isn't that something?
She was pretending to be a man as a Bible salesman.
Well, when she moved to Michigan, she found it was better to live as a man, probably because you could get a room, you could get a meal.
Come on, Marty.
If you were a single woman by yourself, people looked at you like, what the hell are you doing?
Yeah, I guess
so. When she was so comfortable in men's clothing after having worked on the father's farm that way, when she moved to Michigan, she got a good job as a Bible salesman and dressed like this.
Wow, that's
and then in fact, the first time she tried to join the 2nd Michigan, she was denied because of the height requirement. She did not meet the height requirement.
Oh, yeah, she's a short man.
But the second time she went in the nursing corps, they accepted him.
Yeah.
There's a requirement for medical.
I'm too short. I'll be right back. And she put the pink stuff on her face. And like, now what do you say? And they're like, come on in.
Very cool. Thanks for showing the picture. I forgot to cue you up on that, Marty. Sorry.
Well, yeah.
All right.
It's your first run at it. Pretty good.
Yeah.
Pretty good.
There you go.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Not to be outdone or to be accused of being sexist, I have actually also chosen a lady.
Whoa.
Yes. Okay. Jacqueline Cochran. She was a bona fide badass.
Okay.
All right. Yeah. Started off early years, tragedy, loss of children, divorce, reset her whole life then. Started off as Bessie Lee Pittman.
Bessie.
Changed over later on after the death of her children and the subsequent divorce to Jacqueline Cochran.
Jacqueline Cochran.
Went on to sell cosmetics and then was like, you know what? This is not all it's wrapped up to be. I'm going to get my pilot's license.
Whoa.
So in 1938, I believe, she, 35. Cosmetics weren't working out for that well. So she sold the company and was like, I'm done. I'm going to get my pilot's license. And went on to join the 99, which is one of the OG female pilot organizations. Think Amelia Earhart, think all the cool ladies back then. Was not a founding member, but immediately took over as a good representative of the 99. Petitioned later on to Eleanor Roosevelt and started the WAC. She was the wartime leader of the WASPs. The U.S. Hap Arnold was like, I don't know about you broads being in the cockpit. She's like, okay, F yourself. I'm going to Canada. I'm going to bring a bunch of female pilots with me, and we're going to ferry all these aircraft over to Britain. So all the wartime military aircraft that were ferried by females were under her guidance.
Damn.
She helped establish. She helped.
Canada had built a lot of aircraft.
Yep.
With women.
So Canada and America both. She took all those aircraft, took them over to the UK, helped them set up their female pilot program, helped them get everything good to go, and then came back and did the same thing with the WASPs and the WAC. But she's not only a good pilot, she set, before all this, she set multiple high altitude and speed records. After the war, so she's a full bird colonel. After the war, she went on to sponsor and help establish the female astronaut program. Yeah, dude. Yeah, she was awesome, man.
God bless.
Post-war, like during the war, dude, 3 distinguished service medals, 3 flying crosses, did the WAF, the WASP, the training department, set it all up. She's like the OG, one of the OG founding members, you know. And then she went post-war and was just racing planes and set up the female astronaut program with Mercury 13.
God bless, man. I've heard about that. They had like 15 women ready to go, but they never push them up there. Yeah.
And that was under her guidance.
Yeah, that's great.
So the coolest part to me was not only did she never take no from it, she's like, Hap's like, no, I don't think you could do it. He's like, okay, I'm going to Canada. Gone.
Yeah, that's right? Nuts. Yeah.
Good friends. There's multiple pictures of her with Hap Arnold, with Chuck Yeager, with all these guys. So she set records on flying and racing and with prop planes. So now that these cool jet planes came about, she's like, I'm doing it again. So at the age of 47, she decided to challenge the world speed record for women. All right. She tried at 47. She tried to borrow an F-86 from the U.S. Air Force, but they were like, no, you can't just borrow these things. She was, because of her long-standing relationship with Canada and other countries, she was introduced to the Vice Admiral, the Air Vice Admiral of the Royal Canadian Air Force, who, with the permission of the Canadian Prime Minister of Defense, arranged for her to borrow the sole Can-Air Sabre 3.
Oh my God.
She was like, can I borrow that one? And they're like, deal.
Just put some fuel in it. Yeah.
Can-Air sent 16 men to a 16-man support team to California to help her attempt this record.
Oh my God.
So on May 18th, 1953, Cochran set a new 100-kilometer speed record of 652.5 miles per hour.
Jesus Christ.
And then later on 3 June, she set a new 15-kilometer closed-circuit record of 670 miles per hour. Wow. Encouraged by then Major Chuck Yeager, with whom Cochran shared a lifelong friendship, on the May 18th in 53, at Dry Lake, California, Cochran flew a Sabre 3 at an average speed of 652 miles an hour, setting the run, and she went supersonic.
No.
Cochran became the first
woman.
female woman, the first woman to break the sound barrier.
Even before any Russians, she was it. First woman in general. Right.
First woman in general. And like she was if she wasn't the first, she was top 10 in every female aviation aspect.
Yes.
Wow.
Oh
she was awesome. So Jacqueline Cochran, you're freaking awesome.
Good on you.
Thank you.
Yeah, dude.
Hey, and you know why else I recognize that name?
Are
you guys Star Trek fans?
No. Oh, wait, what? Say that again.
Are you Star Trek fans?
Oh, no, not really. I mean, I know them. I know the old stuff.
Well, in Star Trek canon, the person that first went to warp speed, the scientist's last name was Cochran.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
And that carries on through all of the canon of all the different Star Trek shows. That Xavier or something, I can't remember his actual first name, but Cochran is the name they use. And I bet you Gene Roddenberry, the creator of Star Trek, knew that woman did what she did and probably named that image after her. That's great.
Could you imagine
Marty and Taz? I sent a link to her pictures, and there's a picture of her just chilling on the Sabre 3, and you could see she's almost 50, and that's like 1953 50.
Yeah,
so,
right.
And then there's another picture of her chilling in the cockpit with Chuck Yeager outside. Nice. And they're just BSing.
Can you imagine walking in a bar and her and Chuck are like in the corner and you're some young pilot, you're like, who the fuck are those two ancient?
Yeah, exactly. It's like in the right stuff. Chuck Yeager played a young pilot in the right stuff in the very beginning. And he's sitting in a bar.
Now why haven't they made a big movie about her?
Dude.
Her. Yeah.
You know?
She's freaking awesome.
I mean, you talk about, they took, what was it, a couple years ago when they did that movie about the women who did the math behind the great. Atomic bomb, right? Or the Manhattan Project, or wasn't it?
Fly the moon.
Space program.
Oh, the space program. Okay. Yeah. Right. But this one is right here. It's tailor-made. Oh, yeah. That would be a hell of a movie.
And she touched every aspect of aviation history.
Yeah.
She was there and going, dude, that's a cool plane. I want to fly it faster.
Fly it. Yep.
And and multiple times she was shot down by her own country, and she's like, all right, well, UK, you guys need some planes ferried over? Boom. You want me to train some of your pilots? Boom. Like, she trained like 1,000 female, or she trained 400 something female pilots. The attrition rate was extreme. Yeah. They had to have 300 hours in the cockpit. She pushed them to almost 1,000 hours in the cockpit by the time she was done training them. They were just flying like crazy.
Yep. Cargo. They delivered most of the cargo in the European theater for I think 2 or 3 years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think amazing. It's fascinating when you talk about that time period coming out of the 40s into the 50s and the 60s and the test pilots. We were talking about that a couple of weeks ago. And we look at each individual like just in their own little capsule, but you realize they're all in the same circles. They're all passing each other. They're talking with each other, having dinner. They're flying with each other, and you're like, wow, what a group!
That peer
group of Americans,
crazy. Yeah. I question my peer group after every one of these.
Oh, I've led such a lazy life. I'm like, I can't work here. Okay, I'm not going to Canada and try to.
I'm not going to go to Canada and be like, hey, dudes, you need a pilot? I'm not going French Foreign Legion going, put me in, boss.
Yeah, right. Well, you would go to Canada and go, hey, do you need a missile warning guy? And you're like, yeah, right back to where you got fired from.
Exactly.
Exactly. Wow. Well, Jake, that was great. I'm going to look her up.
Yeah, Jacqueline Cochran, man. She's awesome.
Jacqueline Cochran. Man, great. They should make a movie.
The name, like I said, is Star Trek lore. So that's where the creator of Star Trek got it from. Yep.
Yeah,
That's cool.
Great.
She's also real lore. You know, she's
yes. Oh, I know. Yeah, but I won't forget the name. Is what I'm saying. I can't forget the name. Cochran. Yeah, I can't forget it. Yeah, that's great.
What a good note, Jake. Wow, Jake and Taz coming through. Eric, you hear that?
In your face,
you hear
Eric.
that? You do nothing history guy.
Mr. History.
Yeah. We
Pretty
might
soon
have
I'm going to get
rethink
Mr. the Man in the Closet.
Yeah, no kidding. On that note, let's go ahead and end this episode. That was great. That was fun. Man, you guys bring a lot of energy. Yeah. So not like Eric, who's like, I just got back from flying. I didn't do anything.
It's all about Jake's flannel. It just sets the whole mood.
Sparks fly in that closet with the flannel. That's why he's in there. So
that's right. Yeah,
well, on behalf of all of us here, I'd like to thank you for listening today. Please like, share, subscribe, and let us know how we did in the comments. And make sure next week that you were not
late for changeover.
Taz, thanks for coming on short notice. Jake, as always, you did a great job. Thanks for the week, and everyone watching and listening. Thanks for listening and watching, and we'll see you next week.
Don't get honeypotted, and if you do, just own it.
Do I have to make comments about this show, Artie? Do I have to make comments on YouTube about the show?
No, that would be kind of silly because you're in it. Yeah, you're on it. You can't comment.
Somebody else out there
comment on yourself, I suppose.
Yes, true. I could do that. Yes.
Whoever that was in the upper right corner, her internet sucks.
Yes, I know. I'm sorry. Oh, I'm sorry.
Take care. Yeah. Thanks, Michelle.
Thank you. Thanks, Jake. Take care.
Yeah, I'm going.